feel as good as it looks. I can keep it real with you. I'm straight though. The street shit made me what I am today, niggas.
Mike at night. Our news, our business. You know how we do it. If you're here at nighttime, then that means that you are most definitely here at the right time. Got my boy in the house today. Thank you for coming and sitting with the brothers, sitting with y'all, sitting with my family and my people.
Most definitely, brother. Appreciate you having me.
Hey, not a problem. Now, what you want me to call you? Because I know I get brothers up here sometimes, and they like, bro, why you? Okay. So what are we gonna call you? Who are you?
Just Kenny, man.
All right, Kenny. That's how I met you. I met you as Kenny. So cool. All right.
People know me as DJ Kenny, but it's
okay.
Kenny, man.
All right, that's what's up. So you got anything to plug real quick? Is there any projects, anything you got going on right now that you want the people out there to know about?
No, I'm actually working on it, just getting this sound lab built.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And it looks nice.
I appreciate that, brother. It's been hard work and a lot of money, but
okay.
It's still a work in progress, and we gonna keep pushing it.
All right. Well, you know, we had a conversation because I've been asking you to get on the show. Listen, my man done done some good things for me. Now he didn't. When I first got my stuff started, he came, bought me some equipment. Like, look, man, I knew you started doing this, and I knew that you were gonna need a few things, and he took care of me. So I appreciate him for doing that. But he's a good brother. I mean, we come up from knee-high to a grasshopper almost. Yeah. And I know a lot of you guys already know who he is because you guys from the same neighborhood or whatever. But anyway, we was having a conversation and he was talking about the situation between people who are somewhat into going to church and people who aren't. So there are people who are cool with the whole God aspect of, you know, respecting God and living their lives a certain type of way. And then there are people that aren't really like that. So I don't know if you hopefully you don't feel uncomfortable expressing the story. We ain't gonna bring no names, but you gave me a story and it kind of got me to thinking. And when I knew you was gonna come on to the show, I was like, look, man, we gotta talk about that. So
honestly, man, I feel like, ain't no disrespect to nobody, I don't mama. I feel like church is like a social club. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I've dealt with churches, I've dealt with this, I've dealt with that, and I'm a spiritual person. I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for the man above.
Okay.
But I don't feel like church is my spot.
Now, you say church, that's one thing, but we're talking about, because you said there were a group of people that had came in, and there were already some people there that weren't.
Yeah.
And it kind of was, you know, it was a little different, but
I just feel like as brothers, we've all been through some things, we've all dealt with some issues, and we don't need to look at each other from this perspective, from that perspective.
And that's kind of what we was talking about in the green room, right?
Exactly.
When we were saying, like,
it's one of those things like you just said, you could be here one day and you could be here.
Well, I always say that we're all a couple of bad choices away from, you know what I'm saying, from losing it all, you know. And our life is a consummate expression of not only our thinking habits, but the decisions that we have made along the way. So, you know, we make some bad decisions and we pay for them. Sometimes you make bad decisions at what? 12, 13, 14, 15, and you still paying for them
with interest.
There you go. To this day.
But you know, that, man, that's just life. And I feel like, you know, whether church, whether this, whether that, we just need to be there for our brothers.
And that kind of brings me to my next point, which is, are we able to disagree and still get along? I don't want to get too deep into that right now because we had some tragedy happen throughout our neighborhoods. The black community right now is mourning, not just mourning the death of those that we lost, but mourning our condition because we're still in a horrible condition as a black community. A horrible condition.
I don't think it gets addressed enough. And it's one of those things, man. Everything starts from down here. You know, we're all kind of victims of our upbringing. And like you just said, you could have this CEO
Exactly.
that's straight and narrow, and it's because his father was an alcoholic drug addict or his mother, whatever have you. And you can have this alcoholic drug addict that's parent was. So it's all about the choices you make, but we're all products of our upbringing. And the things that you see in your most impressionable stages make you.
Well, it's how you interpret the world around you. You know, it's not what happens to you, but how you respond to it.
Right.
And you know, we make bad decisions over the years, and we learn. Hopefully, you know, God gives us the years to learn from those mistakes and to move forward. But we have a situation. Our community is in a situation. It's in turmoil right now because our brothers and sisters aren't processing things the way that they should. And back to my original question, can we agree, can we disagree and still get along? That's our biggest problem, I believe. If, you know, I had somebody that didn't really like my views, we were hanging out, we were talking about the condition of the black man and how black people need to be more responsible for the way they act and the way they conduct themselves. And they were telling me, well, you sound like you a sellout, or you know, you sound like you white or something like that. And I'm like, because I'm telling black people to be more responsible. And then I say, well, you know, I got a podcast that I do, and y'all know I got a podcast that I do, and we talk about, you know, black issues in the community and how the community needs to work together and how black people need to work together, how we need to show that love, that support, and that protect. I talk about that on every show. I got the t-shirts, the LSP t-shirts, and I'm gonna plug that real quick. If y'all need something, let me know. If you see it on your chest, you might feel it in your heart. Listen, we got the LSP, we got that LSP going on, and that's because when I go into the white community, I see them loving each other. I see them supporting each other. I see them protecting each other.
But see, let me pause you right there. That's where we get it lost. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever went into an Asian store and seen anybody else besides an Asian working there?
They ain't gonna let it happen. In our neighborhoods.
In our neighborhoods. We know, you know, the togetherness amongst our people, it got lost in the sauce somehow, somewhere.
Well, the thing is, brother, is that they moved our goals. You know, when we started out, when we came to this country, well, let me put it this way. When we were kidnapped and brought to this country, we had a common goal that it was to end slavery, get out of slavery. We had a common goal, and we were not divided on that goal. Now, you might have found some people that had some brain damage or something that wanted to continue to be slaves. I don't know who those people were. Maybe the descendants of Uncle Ruckus or something like that. Uncle Ruckus's ancestors. They still wanted to be under the white man. But for the most part, we didn't want to be slaves.
Right.
Once that ended and we moved forward, we now wanted equality. Okay? There's no more slavery. Now we're looking for equality. Can we get the equality? Now, we weren't divided on that, although we were divided on how we went about getting it. You know, Brother Malcolm said, by any means necessary. Brother Garvey was saying, let's just go back to Africa. And Brother King was saying, look, we need to all just get along. And I mean Martin Luther King, not Rodney King. Both they did both say the same thing. But anyway, listen, there was a different way we went about it. But guess what? For the most part, we were able to achieve that goal because we were all working on it. But now, it's like, once that was done, once the civil rights movement and all that ended, we were without a goal. We were without a collective goal.
But how do you put a whole nation of people against each other? Divide and conquer. It's 200-some years later, and Willie Lynch, if you don't know who Willie Lynch is, Google. Anyway, Willie Lynch is still effective. You put the old against the young, the light against the dark, the male against the female.
But and that's why I get so upset, bro, with Uncle Daddy. That's why I get so upset with the Section 8 system and all that. Now listen, you guys, I'm not talking about the hand up. I don't have no problem with the hand up. I'm talking about free handouts.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? There's a new form of racism that divides the haves against the have-nots. And that's what this world is doing right now. That's what the economy does to us. Us as black people, we don't realize because we haven't really, outside of Black Wall Street and
Which was
some advances that we have made financially, what are you saying?
which was bombed and
Exactly.
depleted.
We haven't really seen the cohesiveness financially that we need to experience. And I don't think it's all our fault because honestly, the way I look at it is like if somebody beats you down, takes all your money and then says, well, what's wrong with you? Why can't you get yourself together? Why are you acting like this? Why are you killing? Well, they're culpable in this situation.
But let's not make it all about money, T. Because I got a saying. You could give an idiot $1 million. He's still an idiot. So, our youth see all, and that's no disrespect to anybody, but our youth see all these men with no financial literacy, with all this money blowing it on meaningless BS.
These are the examples.
These are the examples that
they're getting.
is looking at.
These are the examples that our youth are looking at. However, let me say this. What do we call the age that we live in right now? We're in the information age.
Right.
We can no longer say that somebody else is responsible for what we need to be doing.
But I'm talking about the impressionable, the
impressionable.
You know, oh, I'm 17 years old and so has this big diamond this and this go this. Come on, man.
Okay.
He has no knowledge of what that dollar is worth, so he doesn't know what to do with it.
And he'll do anything to get it. You know, they say that that the love of money is the root of all evil.
And we all been there.
The root of all kind of evil.
Let's not keep it like we angels up in here, bro. We then both did a little wrong or a lot of wrong to get some money.
Well, I mean,
let's keep it 100.
And I think that's where a lot of this this infighting that we have may come from, is that some people have things and other people don't, and we feel like we should have those exact same things, so we fight and we kill and we steal to try to get what it is that somebody else has, instead of us working hard for and doing the things the right way to make sure that, because see, the bottom line is this, bro. I mean, and most of my dope dealers will tell you, unless they was really, really big time, you can't keep that stuff forever. You're not gonna have it forever.
Any fast money goes even faster. Anything I got wrong is gone. I got a lot of things in the wrong way, and it's all gone. I promise you. That quick flip you get, you're gonna look up 6 months later and you're gonna spend double that because you fell into a situation, this, that, or the third. But if you're waking up, you're going to work every day, you handling your business, you're gonna watch yourself, you're gonna take baby steps, but you're gonna grow. But
and when you start doing that, bro, let me say this before you get in there. When you start doing that, you start looking around. Because you ask yourself, well, why do people be leaving the hood and why people don't want to live, in the same neighborhoods that they grew up in? Like, hold on, man, is there a hood anymore? Honestly, because I'm wondering, I ain't seen one in a few years. You understand what I'm saying? Like, when you get that 760, 780 credit score and you pulling in 150 a year, 200 a year, do you really got time for the nonsense that's going on inside of these neighborhoods? Do you really got time for that? And matter of fact, not only do you not have time for it, but you feel uncomfortable around it because you know it's volatile. You got too much to lose.
But our people have been subject to is nothing greater than instant gratification. Okay, come on, we grew up in the 90s, the 2000s. Excuse me, but this dope era crap y'all talking about, it ain't nothing like the 90s. It ain't nothing like 2000.
The real life Franklin Saints.
Joe Budden will be dusty this week, and you see him 30 days later, man, he flied in a 757.
Right.
Because he got a new whip, new dip, pocket full of backward, you know what I mean? Because that's how quick it was. We used to call them TDS, Down Road Fridays. when the smokers get paid, you can make $1,000
in a few minutes.
on a Friday night.
So what is it? So that's what my question is. What is it now? What is the issue now that we're having to where? Because it's gonna be it's gonna be a long hot summer. Because we ain't even fully got into this, and stuff is already happening. That's just ridiculous. So it's gonna be a long hot summer. What is the problem? I do these shows so that we can all come together as a family and talk and see what it is with black people and what the reason is that we still feel like we need to kill each other. I was sharing this with my sisters at Brothers and Sisters Barbershop, right there off of Chambers and Island. So if you need some locks done, you need some braids done, you need your hair did, or cut or whatever, y'all go in there and see my man John and get your stuff squared away. But anyway, I was talking to some people over there, and I was saying this. Oh, you have to cut that back on. I was saying this. Listen, if you have a wife, and y'all heard me, some of y'all have heard me say this on the show. If you have a wife, and you invite your friends to your home with your wife, and you call your wife out her name. Look, we'll go get us some sandwiches and beers. How do you think your friends are going to treat your wife if that's how you talk to her? However, if you come in and show her love, hey baby, how you doing, and how was your day, how things going, your friends are going to see that and they're going to respond accordingly. But hold on, let me finish. This is what I believe we have going on in our neighborhood. In our neighborhood, the friends in this scenario are the police officers. The wife is black people, and we are the individuals. So what I'm saying is this: if we don't show our brothers and sisters love, support, and protect,
nobody else will.
Nobody else is.
But let me ask you this:
they're not gonna be like you think your friends is gonna be like, man, why you talk to your woman like that, man? You ought to treat, unless they're trying to scoop her up, but that's a whole nother issue. You understand what I'm saying? But for the most part, they're not going to respond that way. And so when we're sitting up here talking about, and I get it, you guys, I get it. So don't start writing in and go, man, I get what you're saying. Don't start with the whole, well, they did this, and it's not the police, and the police are supposed to be treating us. I get that. But when we sitting here killing babies and old people that didn't even have nothing to do with it, when we killing them in our community, that's a problem. That's a big problem. And I don't care if I have to die today, whoever the idiot was who did that. I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Because that was stupid. And if you got to come after somebody for something they done, come after that man. That baby didn't do nothing. That older elderly person didn't do nothing to you either. Go ahead, brother.
See, but not on that same page, but to flip back to how you treat your wife, how you treat your... How many of us grew up in a loving household? You lead by example. If you've never seen a healthy relationship, how you gonna be in one? If you've never driven a car and I say, hey T, here's a 2023 Benz, I'm gonna check with you in 30 days and it's gonna be totaled. Because you have no idea how to maneuver, how to manage, because you're going to deal with some situations, whether it be weather, the storm that you go through in a relationship, maintenance, what you got to do to keep the relationship going, whatever the case may be. If you're not knowledgeable on this situation, how do you expect it to flourish?
Well, listen, man, that's why we have outlets and we have different platforms like the one that I use right now. Now, I know that you have to take it upon yourself to go in that direction, but with this being the information age, there are ways in which you can go about.
But you gotta want that information.
You have to want that information, but you also have people who are getting that information that can pass that on, like the each one teach one mentality.
But like I said, you gotta want it. How many of the youth want it?
Well, we don't make being responsible black people very popular. You understand what I'm saying?
And we were youth, and the things that we were told, how many of us, man, I don't know how many times I was told, don't do this, do that, and had to learn it the hard way. Had many people tell me, hey man, you might not want to but it didn't hit home until I went through, and I'm sitting there with my hands over my eyes, feel like a jackass because I didn't listen to what was told to me. Because a lot of us, when we're young, we're full of adrenaline, we're full of testosterone. We like, man, I don't need no.
Well, we don't make that very popular. We don't make it very popular when it comes to being responsible, being not just socially responsible, but being financially responsible. We don't make those type of things popular in our neighborhoods, and that's what we need to start doing. We need to make not rapping and doing sports, and we got a brother that's coming on here today that's cold, you know what I'm saying? He gonna give us, he gonna impart that to us. But that's not the only way, and this brother will probably tell you himself that this ain't the only way that he's seen to make it out of the hood. You know what I'm saying? It starts with those decisions. Now, if that's what you want to do, if you want to rap, if you want to play sports, you might be cold. And that's when you should, by all means, you should follow your dreams. But at the same time, we need to be socially responsible with how we're moving within our communities.
And you gotta have more than one hustle. This is Denver, one of the most expensive spots to live. You gotta have about 3. You gotta sell dope, do hair, and babysit out the same house. Right. Okay. Right. Like this. Let's keep it a buck. Especially if you don't have a spouse. You know what I mean? If you by yourself, solo dolo like I am, like you are.
Listen, man, you gotta, and let me tell you, I don't want to get my show cut off or nothing, but sometimes you gotta work that Section 8 to the best of your ability. Okay, and I'm not trying to tell nobody to do nothing illegal, but you need to work that to the best of your ability. If all you're doing is using it to house a bunch of sorry Negroes like yourself, then you're using it for the wrong thing.
You playing.
You're using it for the wrong thing. You can do hair in there. You can do some daycare. You can do all that. You can fix some cars in the driveway. You can do all that. You need to use that to your advantage. And some of us have taken advantage of that situation and have made it work for them. That might be your 40 acres in a mule because it don't look like they're going to be coming up off of it anytime soon. So that might be what you need to do to get yourself ahead. But at the same time, you need to make a plan. Hey, if you he said, if you plan to work and work to plan to work. You guys put something together that isn't about the detriment of our brothers and sisters. And we need to make people feel uncomfortable that are out here gang banging and doing stuff. We need to make these people feel uncomfortable in our community. We don't need to be idolizing them and making them feel like they're somebody and giving them props for killing our brothers and sisters. That's not cool. It's not what's up. It's not, it's not the new thing to do. Niggas been dying for a long time now. Mm-hmm. So it ain't even popular anymore. But anyway, I kind of went off on that a little bit. My bad.
It is what it is, because somebody need to put it out there like that.
Well, listen, man. I appreciate you for showing up today.
I really appreciate you
and taking the time out just to sit here and chop it up with us. Like I said, we have another brother that's coming up here in a second, and he's going to share some of his music with us. Not just his music, but some of his story. Very intelligent brother, somebody that, the minute I met him and started talking to him, I knew he had something special. So I'm going to give you a little bit of that. You guys give us a break and we'll get right to it. Right here. You got it. You got the remote.
Cut.
Hold on. No, not you. Give it as much juice as you can. Give me about 53. Oh, yeah, that's good.
About me putting it.
Don't be on that bullshit. You won't hold me down always.
So you got this
That's
one,
why, that's
right?
why I spend that on you. They say need a reason why. That's why I spend it on you. That's why you got another room in your wrist. That's why you want to raise my kid. That's why I had to make a song like this. So my name, I was standing with things. All I want is so amazing, so good that the cushion had to change. So I changed that. I can show my freedom. Boy, let's purchase either. Passenger seat freedom. All these hoes gon' see us. They know they can see us. They ask what's the reason. Because I don't be on that bullshit.
You got your feet right here.
You gon' hold me down always.
Yeah, you can. You can do it.
Cousin can't afford it, man. I'm so short.
You didn't let me act the ass.
Mike and 9. You know we back in the house.
For it, big house, it's a short. I can't speak on too much, so I'm moving a cord. Send out some money, my pocket's been short. Can't get it a Gucci, I borrowed a lawn. I just lay back in the
Let it breathe a little bit. Cut it up.
like I'm feeling important. I just met up with another little cutie. She poke out a booty, try to get me a shorty. I tell her, hey, anyway, see what
How you doing, family? I'm chilling, man. Let them know who you are, man. This is music right here, man.
What's up, man? So I go by 9. If you see me in public, my name is Anthony. So please search me on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, anywhere you get your music. It's AFT9.
So AFT9 is how you get it. AFT9 is how you get it. So my man said if you see him in public, it's Anthony. You ain't got
Please don't do that.
But check this out, man. Give us something on that first song, real quick. Let us know what that was. What does that mean?
So that's TOTC, Top of the City. That was me one day. I was in the studio and I felt like I needed to make a statement.
Okay.
I don't know if you know, but I'm new in town.
Okay, I do.
I only been here a couple years, so I haven't met a lot of the rappers.
Okay.
The ones I have met, I mean, I respect the craft, but I'm aiming for the top of the city.
Come on now.
So, you know.
And where you coming from?
Originally I'm from Albany, Georgia. I just recently moved here from Iowa. I went to college in Waverly.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your upbringing. You know what inspired you, should I say, to start making music, and what's your goal with the whole music thing?
So I grew up in Albany, Georgia, or whatever. I went to private school for a little bit, and back to public school, then back to private school.
Okay.
So I done seen a couple different walks of life. I done tried to do this shit a couple different ways.
Okay.
When I was in high school, I had a friend that rapped. I used to hop on a couple of his songs. I ain't taking it very serious. I was playing basketball.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I went to college and I was playing basketball a little more in college. And, you know, you start to realize, like, you're not going past a certain level. I mean, I played D3 ball. You know
Okay, all right.
You ain't going past a certain level, so you got to start planning for the future.
Okay.
I was a business major in college, so I needed something that I was good at. I ain't know what the hell I was good at.
Okay. So you kind of breaking it down to us about how we was talking about just a minute ago about finding different ways to get out of the community and try to better yourself. And the reason why I wanted to bring you on today too is because this is the way that a lot of people find to express themselves and to move out of their current situation. And I'm going to say this. A lot of people have eaten off of the system when it comes to Section 8 and all of that. And I know y'all hear me going in on that. I don't want to go back in on that. But a lot of our people have made not just millions, but billions off of this music. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think that it's a bad thing that people want, you know, to rap and do things like you're doing this, which is an expressive art. So instead of us killing each other and why not express ourselves in this way and in this fashion, because it's a lot more lucrative. I mean, you can make money off of it.
Yeah, you can make a ton of cash in it. Like I haven't even been taking it very serious for very long, and it's been profitable for me.
Okay. So have you done any shows out here, or are you still looking to do that? Or
So I took a break. I was doing a show a week actually up at 5280 nightclub.
Okay.
Up in Thornton.
Now listen, this man ain't been here. Now he ain't been here that long, okay? And he done already jumped on the scene. He doing 5280. He hopping in nightclubs, letting them know who he is. But you know what? And this is why I brought him on too. Where you say he was from?
Albany, Georgia.
Exactly. And everybody in Albany, Georgia is rich, and they drive around in Maseratis and Bugattis, correct? Okay, so you got to figure out a way to go get it. Is what I'm saying, and you're not there. You didn't came here, and you're using Colorado. You're using some of the venues and music venues here to better yourself and to advance on your music career. Correct?
Oh yeah, for sure. I connect with as many people as I can. I actually have a small circle of friends. We performed at Herman's Hideaway, your mom's house.
Okay. My mom's house. What you talking about?
Nothing personal.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm like, man, we're just gonna turn from a podcast to a little bang session real quick. I'm trying to keep the positive, keep the community positive. He said we performed at my mama's house. Like, hold on, man.
It's a little nightclub. It's a little.
Okay. It's called your mama's house.
Yeah, I wonder where it's at, but I forget where it's at.
Okay, well y'all put it in the comments. I'm sure somebody can heard of it. Your mama's house, son. That's where. So where you been at tonight, baby? Your mama's house.
Yeah, man.
Rapping.
I'm trying to book a couple more spots, and I'm gonna let y'all know what's going on here.
Okay, well you know what, we do that and think about where that place is. Let's go ahead and play that next track if you can get that up for us. And this one is Pistol on the Shack. Give me some background on this.
It's actually one of my favorite songs. I was just deep in thought, just doing some reflecting one day,
Okay.
and it just kind of was spilled out.
Okay.
Like I had been up for a while. I wouldn't say actually 4 days.
Okay.
If you want to,
But it felt like 4 days.
You want to say rappers lie.
Okay.
But I was listening to some old Jay-Z. And it's just kind of what popped out of the brain, it's kind of no pad, no pen type of situation.
Well, you know what? When you blow up what you will, when you make it out there, which I know you will do, you make sure you don't forget about the Mike and Mike at Night show and that we kind of halfway put you on.
And just call my phone. I'll be back anytime you want me here.
Hey, for sure. And we've had a lot of artists come in here and just share their music. Cut that up for us a little bit so we can get a little taste of it.
I'm not stressed. I count my blessings every day. I thank God in the morning. I send a text out to my shorty just cause I adore. I smoke excited, stay to stay. I can get it imported. They ask me questions about gossip and shit that ain't important. Can't knock the hustle. We growing shit and getting enormous. We Uber cruising the black Excel, order the Porsches. Me and the plug on one accord. I descend in the porcelain. Put a spray tan on the white girl. Emotional oranges. Valet greet me at the front. I tip without the service. I hold my image when I'm taking a beat picture perfect.
Man, it's going.
Back from Mountain View to say
We gonna wrap up with my favorite actually, cause I done went through your.
I appreciate you.
For sure. So check this out, man. You know what I was thinking about is that maybe they should have, because this is such an important piece of our community, and maybe they already have it, but I was thinking about, why not teach rap? Like teach people how to actually rap.
Yeah. So when I was living,
I think that'd be dope.
When I was living in Iowa City, actually, they just recently introduced a course at the University of Iowa where they teach people how to rap.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, they teach you the basics of music, and they teach you hip hop music
and cadences and learning different cadences.
Yeah. I didn't take the course.
Okay, you didn't need to.
Yeah,
you got look, man.
I'm an instructor.
Okay. Who was the instructor? KRS-One?
He was a cool dude. I want to tell you his name off the top of my head, but I'm just.
Had he made any music?
He was doing some type of music program.
Okay.
Down in Iowa City. like I said, man, I'm not good with names off the top.
Right. No, I get you, but I mean, even having that information is kind of dope. But maybe some of these old school rappers, or even rappers in the city that, you know what I'm saying, like used to be hot, but ain't no more. You know, a cool DJ, Cool G, or somebody, you know, just teaching, you know, have nothing harder to show teaching people how to rap.
Yeah, it would be dope. And they like, from what I can tell, they're introducing hip hop to a lot more universities. I know in New York, like the dude Fabio Foreign, he was like doing a fashion course.
Okay.
So, I mean, like they introducing hip hop. It'd be nice if they would teach a hip hop course.
Okay, right. And you know how much money that is made? What did I think that was that the Big Sean CD where they said that it's the second largest export in America? Is hip hop music. So what is that telling you? I mean, you go to school to figure out how to be a plumber. I don't know anybody who's made $1 billion off of plumbing. You go to school to figure out how to fix cars. I don't know anybody who's done that, made $1 billion off of that. But we have a brother who said that his $7 billion that was reported in Forbes magazine was understated. And this brother's first album was College Dropout. you know what I'm saying? $7 billion was underestimated. So this is what I'm saying. There's money in it. And if we're smart, why not take that route? We got so many people in our neighborhoods who want to rap, who want to do music, who want to do this and want to do that. But we don't have them, you know what I'm saying? We don't put them together. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, honestly, the hardest part for me in rap has been understanding the business and not getting like messed over.
Okay.
And then I noticed like everybody wants to rap, anybody can find a studio, but don't nobody really know what to do after you made the song. You feel me? So like, if we could get something to teach, me, the business of rap and how to push yourself forward properly. You know what I'm saying? That would go a long way.
That's dope.
Because a lot of people could put words together, you know?
Right. But to learn that business piece.
Yeah, to learn how to push yourself forward in business is very important.
Okay.
Like, that's been my thing. Like I'm not going to say obviously, my music doesn't do the greatest numbers, but I wouldn't say I'm struggling in life. Like, I drive a nice car, I live in a nice area.
You said you drive a nice car. What kind of car you drive?
Tesla.
A what?
Tesla Model 3.
This brother got a Tesla.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, man. It's a nice Tesla too. I rode in it. That's why I was just fronting. I just went through the stuff for the camera real quick. Yeah, I was in his Tesla. It's nice. He had to show me how to get out. I didn't even know how to get out that bad boy. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't even gonna pretend like I've been there before, man. He had to show me how to get out the Tesla. But man,
but like I said, man, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm struggling at all, but like my thing is, man, I'm able to find ways to make money outside of music. Not everybody's able to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's very important. If you're an artist, like music can't be your only bag until music makes you some money.
Right.
You feel me? I made a couple dollars off of it, but that's mainly because we instituted a recording studio.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we fully operate the recording studio. I don't have to spend a lot of money, and whoever wants to come rap in the city, y'all can come right down South Mariposa Street and come find me. You know
Okay. Man, look, and he put it out there for you guys. So, you know, in the community, if you guys think he can rap, you probably, I don't know, I ain't gonna, listen, and see, you know what, let me just say this real quick, brother. This is the problem. We always be talking, and I've been guilty of it too. We listen to people's music, and we discourage people from doing certain things. Like, man, that's trash, man. You ain't got no bars. You can't rap. Instead of supporting each other and saying, you know what, man, that's good. You ain't out here robbing nobody. You ain't stealing. You ain't killing. But it seems like that's what the community embraces and loves. You know, it seems like if you get into hip hop, I mean, you got to get into the dope. You got to get into, you know, the girls, the crime, and all of that. Or people don't even really want to, you know what I'm saying? People don't even really want to listen to what you got to say if you somebody like Lecrae or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't get that same juice.
Well, I mean, you know, you establish your own fan base, you know.
Okay.
What they show us on TV is obviously the dope, the money, the girls, because that's what they want us to indulge in. That's where that's where their money come from.
Okay.
By that, you know who I mean. I don't have to go too deep into it.
Right.
But in all reality, like, you gotta look at people like Chance the Rapper was up there.
Oh yeah.
Drake don't really talk about nothing like that. J. Cole don't really talk about, that type of lifestyle.
Right.
But like you can do things in a positive light and make a lot of money. You just have to make yourself cool.
Okay.
People don't make themselves cool.
See, that's what I've been working on, man. I told the lady today I was trying to get that new iPhone 13 Pro Max. Is that what it's called? Okay. That's what I was trying to get. Because I said I wanted to be cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, and see the Android phone, my kids told me that the Android phone be telling on you. They say, you see all your messages here? They're green. Is that what it is? They're green because you don't have an iPhone. I'm like, man, I don't want my phone telling somebody else that I'm not cool. I just got to get the cool phone now.
Well, I mean, somebody stunned on me with the little Google phone the other day.
Okay.
The little Google phone is super nice. I don't know what to do. It just look better than my phone.
Yeah, and then they got the kind that fold open into the hole. Yeah, Samsung Fold. Yeah.
Fire.
All of that. But listen, I want to get into the song that I like, that I thought was a dope song, that Play Your Part. Can we get that? Can we get that Play Your Part? I really like that one. That one was dope to me.
I got my lens on it.
Exactly. Play your part, the bitch, you know what it is. Just know your role, just be happy you here. Ain't nothing like these other niggas out here. Just know your role, just be happy you here. Girl, you know I got that game to make them close. This ain't nothing no. Love when I rock the boat, she trippin' like a hoe. Ain't out here on the regular, cause that ain't how it moves. And I can't say I love you, babe, cause that be breaking rules.
Word on up, ain't trying to you talk. Guess you deep up in your feelings, girl, that shit ain't my fault. I've been over there from the start, ain't no need for discussions. You ain't been doing shit for me, you just been blocking my hustle. She like, Gucci, I'm proud of, but none of her own. I give her biggest designer, then leave her alone. She said she hate the way I treat her, but she ain't trying to leave, cause it's gon' take too long to find somebody better than me. Now it's more food on
So I was telling you the other day, man, I said you shouldn't have no
my competition is me.
you shouldn't have no Gucci purse with an EBT card in it.
Nah. Hell no.
My homeboy says you got an $800 purse, but ain't got $800 to put in it. Go ahead.
I mean, my whole motto is you can't buy a girl a purse she can't afford. So if she ain't got that before I get there.
Ooh, okay, hold on one more time. He said he can't buy one that she can't. Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
Before I get there, he ain't getting it from me.
Well, listen, I'm gonna wrap up here. I want you to come back up, man, and I'm gonna sit here and run this. Go ahead and give me that whatever you like real quick, and cut that up for me. I'm gonna have him come in. I'm gonna have him join you, and I got a couple more questions before I let y'all out of here, man. Oh, you gonna put it like that? Oh yeah, you know.
It ain't tricking if you gotta get whatever you like. We ain't talking about the cost, go get whatever tonight. Like the trooping at the sign, get whatever you like. But on the hill, I the first we go wherever you like. Just whatever tonight, you get whatever you like. Ain't gon' stop you in the mall, you get whatever you like. Keep it right when I pull up and shit.
DJ, now I've been a DJ for like 30-something years. Yeah, that's why I was saying.
Hey, why you trying to do that? You fish yourself and he be breaking you back. But we'll keep running you back. Whatever it is to you black. You can't get all your problems, let me help you with that. You ain't never had.
So what y'all think, man? I mean, when it comes to the music industry, when it comes to black people and what they got going on, what do you think to help alleviate the situation that we're in right now as a people? And I know that we've talked about a few things, and we talked about some things and saying that, you know, maybe the music is one way that we could get out. What would you guys say is, if you had to put something positive, and that's why I brought you guys both back up here, it's like, look, something positive for our community, because I see you two brothers doing things the right way and, you know, moving in the right direction. Right. Give our brothers and sisters something to grow on.
Music, if you want to do music, you gotta have some radio friendly stuff. Puff said it way back in the day. If I don't have something I can play on the radio, you just be a mixtape rapper. Like, you can jump outside the box. Don't be afraid, oh, my homies ain't gonna like this, or my home. No, I'm talking about global stuff. So if you want to be a musician, you got to jump outside the box.
Okay. And what would you say?
Obviously, rap is a great form of expression. I do agree. But educate yourself. I'm not saying necessarily you got to go to college. I'm not saying you have to go to school at all. But educate yourself on what you want to do. Do what you love and educate yourself as to how to push yourself forward and make yourself successful.
Now, for all of these silly ones out here that feel like packing pistols and killing their brothers and sisters is the right thing to do, what would you guys say to them?
Talk to all them cats in the penitentiary that was doing the same thing and see what they say. I'm a square, bro. I'm an old cat. I ain't no gangster. I'm a hustler, man. I'm about some money. I ain't all that stuff y'all can have. That's on my mama. But don't get it fucked up. At the same time, you feel me?
I tell all my younger guys, man, leave the house with positive energy. Defend yourself, but
If you have to.
you don't have to be aggressive all the time. Like,
Shoot, a smile goes a long way, bro.
to be real, man, you lose a lot of money in aggression. Stay positive.
Hey, well spoken. He said you lose a lot of money in aggression, and I've learned that because aggression has hit my pockets a few times, actually. So hey man, I appreciate you, Anthony, for coming on the show, Kitty for coming on the show, and breaking it down for us, and sharing some of what you guys have experienced in the black community and helping us as well to love, support, and protect each other. We're gonna shut the show out. Hey, if there's anything that you need to ask forgiveness for, anybody you need to forgive, please do that because life is too short, and I want y'all black folks to live, man. Hey, appreciate you guys joining us today. We're gonna make sure that we keep my brother's music going in the forefront of our minds. And listen, you got any black businesses or whatever that y'all want to plug on the show, make sure you do that as well. Y'all take it easy.
At the front, I took without the service. I hold my image when I click in, I be picture perfect. I look back from mountain views to say the shit was worth it.
Yeah, you got some slaps, man. And it's a cool player. You know what I mean? It ain't on no ride.
Yeah, I try to avoid that.
I'm showing love to my supporters out more.